Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat Nagpal. You're watching iGyaan. Today we're going to be checking out the new Motorola One Action. So let's quickly get started. The phone has just been launched in India, and we'll leave pricing and availability information in the description below. And if we get buying links, we'll leave those in the description below as well. So if you guys are interested in checking out this device, you can click that link to find out more information. So the box is pretty simplistic. We do have a little bit of information on the back. The Moto One Action is aimed towards replacing an action camera. We'll be the judge of that. So let's quickly cut through the packaging and see what's inside. The first thing inside is the phone itself, and it comes in this TPU back protective case, which is nice. I'm going to place it to the side for the time being. Next up is a bunch of documentation, which also includes your user manual and SAR information. We'll inflate that and leave that on the screen for you guys to check out. Next up is the SIM ejector tool. Also included is a wall charger. Now this is a standard 10-watt wall charger. I would have liked to see a faster charging charger, but it's not included. You also get a standard USB to USB-C charging cable, which is nice. And that basically completes everything that's inside the box. Let's take a look at the phone itself. So with respect to design and looks, it looks almost identical to the Motorola One Vision, which was a 21:9 aspect ratio device. With respect to the look, the same exact phone. There are some changes inside, and we'll go over those really quickly. So over at the front, on the top left, you'll see the front-facing camera. It's a 12 megapixel camera with an f2 aperture, and it uses the screen as a flash. So if you want to enable the flash, it will turn the display into a bright flash for the front-facing camera. The display itself is a 6.3-inch Full HD Plus display. It's a 21:9 aspect ratio with a 2520 by 1080 pixel resolution. You get a total of 432 pixels per inch, and it's an LTPS IPS display with a 2.5D glass on the front. I'm not sure if it is Gorilla Glass. Now you'll see considerable amounts of bezels still, so you do have a little bit of a chin as well as quite a large forehead and sides. You get 84% screen to body ratio, which is quite low in comparison to most other devices that are close to the 90% nowadays. Over the bottom, you'll see the microphone pinhole along with the USB-C port, which is flanked on one side with the speaker grill. On the right of the phone is the power button and the volume buttons, and on the top is the secondary noise cancellation microphone along with the 3.5mm headphone jack. And on the left is the SIM tray. You can pop in 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 micro SD card. So it's a hybrid tray. On the back is where all the action is, quite literally. You get a 12 megapixel main camera, which is an f1.8 aperture equipped camera with a 1.25 micron pixel size. The second is a 5 megapixel depth sensor, and the third is the ultra wide camera, which is the action camera, which does have a 117-degree field of view and quad pixel technology. It is on f2.2 and has a large 2 micron pixel size. You get dual LED flash. It is a CCT, which means color corrected flash, and that is basically all the camera action. And then you also have the fingerprint sensor with the Motorola logo embedded, and on the bottom you can see Android One, which means that you get stock Android, which also means that you get updates for 2 years and security updates for 3 years, which is absolutely brilliant. So once you power on the phone, you'll see that the user interface is almost like a Pixel device, an Android One device. The same thing we saw with the Mi A3, the same thing we saw with the Moto One Vision. You'll see a completely stock layout, and there are only a couple of things that Motorola has done. So the first is the Moto Actions, and with this you can enable things like quick capture. So you can twist your wrist to enable the camera. You also have the torch, which is quite famous, the chop torch light. You also get one button navigation, which I kind of like on Motorola devices, and then you also have things like 3-finger screenshot and lift to unlock, which you can enable from this. Apart from that, you also get an FM radio, so if you like listening to the FM, you get that on this device. There is only a single speaker on this phone, but you can enable Dolby audio, so the audio quality is pretty good, and you can also plug in your headphones if you want to enjoy Dolby audio from your headphones. Now, the camera app is interesting, and that's where all the literal action is. Of course, you get Motorola's camera app, and you can do things like the spot color feature that Motorola has been using and was really good on the Moto One Vision. You can use that here, so you can isolate red, for example, from a picture. You also get some other features, including the cinematograph and live filters. But in the video camera, you can capture 4K video at up to 30 frames per second. But then you also have this action mode, in which once you enable the action camera, it'll switch to the ultra wide 117-degree field of view camera, which is also a large 2 micron pixel sized sensor, and it is very well stabilized, and it is almost almost like a GoPro, and it'll always shoot in landscape even if you're holding the phone in vertical. So that'll make it easy for you to mount this onto a bike or onto your chest or onto any kind of thing that you would like to capture video of, and then capture horizontal video without needing to mount the phone in a horizontal fashion, which is perfect because this is something that should be a feature that you should be able to toggle from the device. It could be easily done in software. In fact, a lot of apps do exist that allow you to switch orientation of the camera, but in this it can do that natively, which is a good thing. The other thing is that if you turn this around into landscape now, you'll be shooting vertical video with your action camera. So you don't want to do that. You want to hold the phone vertically so that you can shoot horizontal video, which is a little bit of a nuisance. I would have preferred to have a software toggle to be able to do that, but that's not there. We'll be testing out the cameras in depth for later use, but so far the action camera seems really nice. The front facing camera is pretty good for photography as well, and you have lots of features including a face beauty auto along with some filters, a timer, and like I mentioned, the front facing flash. You can do those things directly from the front facing camera. And you also have certain features including a group selfie mode, which allows you to take panoramic selfie photos, so you can get like literally a group of people in your front facing camera pictures, which can again come in handy for gatherings or group selfies, as the name suggests. Apart from that, the user interface is pretty fast and responsive, and the phone is running on a Samsung Exynos 9609 processor with a 2.2 GHz octa-core CPU along with the Mali G72 MP3 GPU. We get 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, and if you decide to pop in the micro SD card, you can get up to 512 GB of additional storage with that, bearing in mind that you will lose the second SIM slot. The phone is quite lightweight, weighs in only at 176 grams, and has a 3500 mAh battery, and it supports 10 watt charging, which is because of the chipset as well as the charger that is included is a 10 watt. Now, the phone is IPX2 water resistant, which means that splashes and all of those things should not be a problem. You can use the phone in the rain. All of those things will be easily covered. It's not designed to be dunked as much, but an IPX2 rating is pretty good for water protection. Now, the phone will be available in 3 colors, the denim blue, pearl white, and aqua teal. We have the denim blue. It's almost like a black from some angles, but overall the phone seems nice. And if you're looking for something that will double up as an action camera, this might be a really good option. You still get the 21:9 aspect ratio, which is still not fully fixed in Netflix, but the company has assured us that they're working with Netflix to resolve that, and soon an update will be available that will fix it both on the Moto One Vision as well as on the Moto One Action, so that you'll be able to watch ultra wide video without the camera being cropped out as a notch. Another thing that Motorola mentioned is that the reason why they chose to have such a big punch hole for the front facing camera is because if you hit the edge of your phone when the display cracks, it won't damage the lens on the camera. So it's some sort of a protection buffer that they've built in with the camera, which is pretty much what durability Motorola has in their standards. The phone itself is a plastic device on the back, so it's not ultra flimsy anyway. It's not glass, so it's not going to shatter easily, but it looks nice. It still looks extremely premium. It's a good looking device, and if you're in the market for something like this, you can definitely go check this out. If you guys want a full review of the Moto One Action, do let us know and we'll try and get that done for you guys as well. This has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyaan. I'll see you guys in the next one.